Hey there. I get asked pretty often as an entrepreneur, what are some things about entrepreneurship that you don't like? Now, I've been running my startup Xena Intelligence for the past few years, and I have a few thoughts on that. And I wanted to lay it out in the form of five things that I hate about entrepreneurship. And here they are. The first thing is failure, and more specifically, fear of failure. It's crippling, and it is something that almost every entrepreneur faces almost on a daily basis. Now, failure has a lot of meanings. Failure does not necessarily mean that the company shuts down. It does not mean you run out of money. It does not even mean when customers leave you. A failure can mean a lot of things. A failure can mean anything from an employee leaving you without telling you the exact reason. It can mean you not able to understand your targets or your finances. It can mean an investor asking questions that you're uncomfortable with. It can mean somebody giving you negative feedback on your product or your pitch deck. It can mean any of these things. And so it's not in itself the concept of failure, but the fear of it. Oh my God, will my startup still be hanging around tomorrow, next week, next year? Will my employees all leave me all of a sudden? Will my investors lose faith in me? Will my board of directors not trust in me anymore? Will I not be able to hire any more people to my company? Will my customers not find my offering as good as it was? Will my customers stop paying their invoices to me? So there are so many points of failure in a startup, some of them more fatal than the others, but it is a fact of life. And just because of the frequency and the amount of times that it happens and it makes you feel, it's very hard. But one good thing about it is that as you go through the motions of these, let's call it micro failures, you get stronger and you develop a thicker skin. But let's face it, every time a customer leaves you, every time you get feedback that you don't like, it hurts you undoubtedly, and but at the same time it makes you stronger. The second reason I don't like is the financial risk and instability. My God, one of the greatest reasons why startups don't succeed, they run out of money. It doesn't matter how good the team is, it doesn't matter how good the product is, it does not matter how many customers they have. If they run out of money, they are not in business. And that's how we have built a capitalist society, which is possibly the best system out there, but that is a fact. And that risk involved for not just the company not working, but the founders and the employees losing their jobs, unable to pay the mortgage, unable to fulfill their familial and financial obligations, it is very painful. And the risk of it and the instability of it is painful, not just for founders, but each and every employee, where they're not sure what role they would be doing, or they're not sure what tasks they need to be doing to help the startup forward. Many a time they have to put themselves outside their comfort zone in to do things that they may not like. But that fear, that aspect of the financial and financial risk and instability is very much there. Third reason I don't like is the challenges surrounding work life balance. It's a no brainer. You have your own business, you're an entrepreneur, you're a tech startup, especially in the early stages. You can kiss your work life balance goodbye. You need to travel a lot. You need to pay so much attention to each and every team member. You have to pay so much attention to each and every customer, each and every aspect. You have to deal with taxes, you have to deal with documents, you have to deal with lawyers, you have to deal with fundraising, you have to deal with marketing, you have to deal with website developing, you have to deal with product development, you have to deal with a million different things. In all this, you tell me, how can a normal person have enough time to socialize, have enough time to meet with friends, have enough time to travel for family reasons, have enough time to spend time with family? It is near impossible just because of the nature of the work. Especially in a startup, the idea is that you put in everything you got, you put in all your effort in the hopes that in some point in the future you will be quote unquote successful, you will have enough money to pursue what you want, and at that time you would be able to spend time with family. But I think one thing that people miss out on a lot is that because of their pursuit of their entrepreneurial ventures, their family relationships, their personal relationships with friends and everyone associated with them will take a back seat, and that is a very unfortunate fact of being an entrepreneur. I do try to spend some quality time with my family, even though I wish I could do more of it, but that is a challenge and we have to just deal with it. The fourth thing I don't like about entrepreneurship is the constant pressure and stress. as like I said earlier, because of the fear of failure, because of the fear of risk, and because of the inherent feeling that you always have to keep pushing forward. You have to push yourself, you have to push your team members, you have to push your entire organization to move forward. There can never be a point in life where things are static. There can never be a point in life when things are not moving. Your brain has to move ahead, your whole body has to move ahead. Every action you take, every decision you take needs to make the company move forward, and that too at a fast rate, especially if you are in a startup situation. And that constant pressure and stress, no matter how cool as a cucumber you are, how naturally talented you are in de-stressing yourself, it will get to you. Any number of the thousands of external factors that you have to deal with constantly will get to you. And that is just a fact of entrepreneurship. There is no escaping it, there is no running away from it. The constant pressure and stress, one can argue, is the reason why startups succeed, why entrepreneurs succeed, and why they are celebrated. And that's just a fact. Entrepreneurs have to deal with it. And finally, the fifth reason that I hate entrepreneurship is isolation. It's a lonely journey, undoubtedly, especially if you're a solo founder. You have to make a million decisions. The buck stops with you. Nobody's there to appreciate you. Nobody's there to give you kudos every time something goes well, but there'll be a million people to tell you what you did wrong. You'll have advisors, you have well wishers, you have people who want to see you succeed, and you will have people who want to see you fail. In this in this environment where you have to be a strong leader, or at least put up a persona of being strong, of making a majority of the right decisions, of making decisions that may be unpopular to your team or your well-wishers or your investors. It is a fact that it is a lonely, lonely, lonely journey that you will have to take on your own as a solo founder and an entrepreneur. And that is something I hate. I love taking everyone along. I love working in a team. I love making people feel that they're doing something productive. And the fact that it is an isolating journey, the fact that you have titles, that you have to carry the burden of the entire organization and the responsibility of fulfilling your personal and professional obligations, is a hard, hard, hard journey to take. So these are the 5 things that I hate about entrepreneurship. But having said that, like I always say, as an entrepreneur, you forced yourself. Nobody forced you to follow this path. You chose it yourself. You found a problem. You're trying to tackle it. You're trying to raise awareness. You're trying to put your voice out there. You are trying to put yourself out there. You're trying to improve yourself. You're doing 10,000 different things at the same time. And you chose it yourself, and hence you have nobody to blame but yourself.